going to do a quick video on how to install steering on a pretty much any given tractor. We're using Moore's spindles and hubs. We're not going to use their axle because the tractor comes with a fine axle. You just got to prep it so that it'll fit the hubs. We've already done that, ground it down, got it to the right thickness, drilled our 2 holes, and pretty much the next thing is just to apply. Assuming. I don't think I've checked that one. Alright, yeah, we'll take it. Make sure you put the right side on the right side, whatever side you choose to put it on. Do your best not to stab yourself. It's pretty simple. If you the bit we've got is a 1/32 drill bit. One of them will come with a kit if you need more, which I did, and you can find them online on eBay. They're around. Usually come in like a pack of 12, which you're going to need because one drill bit might just last you 1 hole. They're not exactly durable. They're thin as this pin, so that's probably why. We're going to go from the bottom up with the pin, I think. This one's going to be getting fenders that will move with the wheel, and in order to make that happen, we're going to clip the pin at the top, sand it down, glue it carefully, of course, and then have the fender resting right up on top, glued in place, so that when the tractor turns, the fender goes with it, like a real one. This is really backwards. I should have started this tractor when I started it, but it started like a year ago. This is actually going to be a T8 420 row track, whatever the model of tracks is called. So I'm going to apply these, snip them, glue them, and we'll see in a second. One other thing. Once you get your pin in place, you're going to want to nip it off and then grind it off. When you nip it, make sure it's going into something so that it doesn't fly around the room. Yes, I'm very good at hitting my wife with the parts that I nip. So, otherwise, yeah, those things fucking hurt. That's just all there is to it. Nip it off, and then you might need to nip it again. Apparently, you're incapable of nipping it the proper rate. So, once you nip it, you'll have your correct length peg, pin peg. I don't know what the hell they're called after you nip them, but that's what you got. Again, I'm going to click off and apply and glue and do a little bit of the other stuff, and we'll see. So, we've applied the Moore's steering kit. Measuring the tie rod crosspiece is probably the hardest part, so that it, you know, when it steers straight, they're both steering straight, and it's not cockeyed. The wheels we had have about an 1/8 of an inch hole. These are about 3/32. The way we're going to fix that is we get 1/8 of an inch brass tubing, cut it so that it just fits inside the wheel, and press it in. Once we apply the wheel onto, which it's going to fit pretty nice, the hub will hide it completely. So you won't need to see it, you won't need to paint it, nothing. Pretty handy. So if you have to do that, cut your 1/8 of an inch brass tubing to whatever standard length it needs to be for the tire that you're using. That's assuming the hole is big enough. If it's not, you're going to need to drill it out to an 1/8 of an inch in order to put the tube in and whatever. Get them pressed. Next thing I'm going to do before I apply my wheels is chop down the fenders that I've got so that they'll fit on there nice. I want to do that before I apply the wheels so that the wheels aren't in the way of gluing them, and also so that the glue on these is dry before I try to put the wheels on, because certainly I want the silly wheels to spin. I mean, what fun is it if it doesn't roll, right? So, back in a minute. Did a little bit more on it. Applied the fenders, put the wheels on, obviously they slip right on, put the hubs on the outside and glued them in place. Now we have steering where the fenders steer with the wheels like most real tractors. And ahead of time, obviously, like a cooking show, we chopped up a row track and stole its axles. What you have to do in order to make this fit underneath the tractor is grind down the top of the extension on the axle flat to whatever level it needs to be under. We're working on a case 340 as well. So that's about it for steering. Why does it seem like that's sticking up? I guess it's not. That's how to do it. It's Moore's kids are very, most of them are very, I don't want to say basic. It's not basic. They're pretty easy, self-explanatory. They come with directions, and the directions are very easy to follow. So I'm sure Ertl will be putting this tractor out in another 2 weeks and make all my work completely irrelevant, because they like doing that. I need to fix that yet. So until they do, I have a T8 420 row track with steering. We're gonna apply some mirrors to it, and that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot more you can do for the tractor. You can, add a grab bar if you like, and that's about it. I don't know if you could see underneath there what we did. We had to chop off the axle housing down to a little bit there. I don't know if you can see it slide back and forth. Put the underneath on. It's been fun. Getting it ground down to the correct level was joy. Which is why it's been on my desk for almost a year. So that's that. Thanks for watching. One last quick thing. We used floral wire and a tiny bit of styrene to make our own mirrors, just to keep our costs down, because precast mirrors can get expensive when you're using dozens. I've started looping a hook behind the mirror, well, the piece of styrene, in order to hold it at the angle that I want, and also to give it more to glue to. Used to be we'd just use the one L shape, and the styrene would roll around it and often break off. And we're having a lot better luck with this. Once you paint it black, it's a lot harder to see, so it's not that big of a deal. Obviously you will see it if you look close enough, so it's a little bit of an issue, depending on how detailed you're getting. But that's how we're doing our mirrors right now, and we're going to apply them. We used our 1/32 drill bit and put a hole at the top of the cab, front, left and right, and need to change the tip of my glue out again. Really doesn't take much glue in order to hold these where they need to be. Shouldn't be doing that. that's about it. Again. So, call this my postscript.